Alright. It's been a while since I played Crusader Kings 2, but I figure it's time to get back into it. So at this point, I'm doing pretty well. I've expanded into most of Lithuania over here, and so and I basically hold the King of Rus. But here's the thing at this point. Jumping into the game, I have one minor issue, and that's the fact that I've pretty much expanded as much as I'm going to be able to without, you know, really, like, you know, put myself in a bind, because I've basically got over-dimensionally sized at this point. My only son, he has a county already, so I can't gift him another one. And, well, I don't think it's a good idea to do anything right now in relation to basically, well, the fact I got no troops, and the fact that it just makes no sense to attack anyone else at the moment. So we're just going to hold off on doing anything for now. Pretty much. Apparently I have some chieftains I could usurp if I want to. But yeah, we're just going to basically not do a whole lot this episode. We're just going to wait for my troops to replenish, and then maybe I'll raid a little bit. That'll be the plan. Might be nice if this guy had some sons, but hopefully that'll happen in the future. That sucks. So my son's over here in Kurland. Here's something I'm thinking about doing. At some point, I'm thinking about going to Riga or somehow go get it over here, and we're gonna make these one of these like my capital. My capital is currently over here, which is okay, in Homgarad, but it'd be so much better if I had like a capital over here, near the ocean. And something else I'm thinking about doing is possibly switching to the culture of Russian. Okay, so here's something that happens every so often. Basically with like the Norse, you already saw this once where I basically raised troops with like the Stuart. He like got some wars ready. So you can also do it with like the Marshal and the Court Chaplain, and they basically get different types of troops when you basically get them. With the Court Chaplain, she'll raise like zealots, which you'll basically use against like you know, infidels. But since I'm not going to do any fights, we're not going to worry about this guy. We're just going to get rid of these guys. But good job anyways. That's useful. Let's raise up some troops and kick this guy out of my province. Alright, so this can also happen every so often. Bishop Savitorber, a preacher of the service of King Roslav of Great Moravia, has arrived in Homgarad to spread the gospel of their foreign religion. He has little regard for old faiths, declaring it sinful, and he has explained in detail horrors we shall suffer in the afterlife unless we mend our ways. So this is something that, you know, you can basically experience as like a pagan, or, you know, possibly do with as a Catholic or a Byzantine emperor, you know, guy. You can basically send out your like chaplain to basically try and convert the infidel religions. So this guy here, he's basically coming from Great Moravia, which is down over here. If I refuse this guy, he'll basically be put in my my prison, and the king won't like me too damn much for doing it. But at the same time, I don't want to be converted to anything right now, so we're just gonna say no. He's gonna hate me for a little bit, but that's okay. That's fine. I should really start going for these guys and actually giving them off, actually, these guys here. Let's see here. I should probably ransom you off. And you're the wife, apparently. That's a nice wife. Not a bad wife, but whatever. We're going to ransom her off too, I think. Bravery. It's such a good trait, yet such a bad one. Oh, there's warriors basically made. We're actually going to make use of them though. I think we're going to kick this guy out, so... Well, I'm out of my province for now. This guy here. Oh, we caught him. Alright, there we go. Oh really, more guys are coming for me. Dangerous factions are rising because, you know, why not? Okay, those guys are out of my province. And here's this bishop type basically guy. He's the guy who basically came to convert, basically in prison when you basically refused their, you know, their invitation to convert your stuff. Now this guy, I'm planning to let this guy die, so I'm not going to release him. When he basically dies, his sons will take over both his counties, so he'll be weakened a little bit, so... I'm waiting for that. Let's ransom off the bishop here. And this is probably a good time to show you the Great Blot. So, the Great Blot is basically this event that the Norse can hold. And basically, hold a Great Blot together with your vassals and offer sacrifices to God for good harvest and success in the battlefield. It can only be done every 9th year, so it's not something you can do a whole lot, but... You have sent out summons to all your vassals for the Blot. Those who have been baptized or profess to follow the teaching of the Prophet will be able to offer gold to be exempted from this magnificent feast. I can hardly wait. Now, notice I have basically 5 prisoners here. Something's going to happen to some of them. The guests have arrived and the time has come for the Blot to begin. You gather outside the temple and start by offering animals to sacrifice to the gods. While their meat is prepared for the feast that is to be followed, the blood is sprinkled on the statues of Odin, Thor, and Freyr and the other gods, as well as the worshippers themselves. Now, for the human sacrifice. Lemeki is brought up from her dungeon and escorted to the temple. When she sees the dangling noose about to be placed around her neck, she pushes the nearest god aside and makes a desperate run for it, but to no avail. The men drag her kicking and screaming back to the temple. So, basically, you have the chance to basically, you know, lose piety and stay the execution, or you can basically execute him. So, all father, we offer you this sacrifice. Blah. Tiddy is brought up from your dungeons and escorted to the temple. As soon as she spots you among those guards nearby, she hurls insults and spill your way, continuing even as the noose is placed around her neck. The hatred in her eyes cannot be mistaken. All father, we offer you this sacrifice. Yes! Chief Zamarka is brought up from your dungeon and escorted to a temple. A noose is placed around his neck and a rope is thrown over a sturdy branch of a nearby oak. A small yellow pool forms at Zarko's feet. All father, we offer you this sacrifice. And these guys now inherit his land. Durgan is brought up from your dungeon and escorted to a temple. As soon as he spots you among those guards nearby, he hurls insults and spittle, blah blah. I believe there's only 4 you can sacrifice at once, so with the sacrifice over, the feast at the end of block can now begin. The meat and the animals that were sacrificed are already been prepared, and there's plenty of meat to go around. So one nice thing about this is that it gives you a nice little vassal opinion boost, which makes people happy. Let the celebration begin. So that's a nice thing about the Norse. They can basically sacrifice people, especially people they don't like. And I'm known as the cruel because I sacrifice a bunch of people. The feast is over, and with it the Blot. It will be at least 9 years until you can hold the next one, but as your vassals return home, most of them seem to agree the ceremony is worthwhile the trip. Until next time. And my son apparently has turned Slavic. Okay, so that can happen, by the way. you know, they can convert if they want to. And he just converted to Slavic, this guy. So this might be the last time I see Norse being played on in my Crusader King 2 plays. While passing judgment onto the criminals from the safety of your throne, a young noble is brought before you, blah blah. We're just gonna say no. Yes, note that basically if I want to, I can convert to local culture and to the local religion. Those are things you can do. And my son apparently convert to the local religion, which will help him when he basically, you know, takes over. And this is something worth doing. Commission a Runestone. So, you basically commission a Runestone and chronicle your exploits or remember your dead parent. This can be done only once in a lifetime, but others will look more favorable on you for a time. Basically, there's ways basically to, you know, make people like you more. Okay, why do these people hate me so much? So, you want to see in a council, honestly. And I don't have room to put him on the council, so that sucks. What about you? There's like the problem, like, you know, when you have all this, like, you know, vassals, you know, things can happen. So you want to Geraldum, Tavir. You know, it might be a good idea to give this guy, or this guy, the Geraldum that I basically hold right now. Who do I like more, though? I think I like this guy better. Alright, is this the right guy? It's this guy down here. So you're there. You're there. Alright, these guys are both, you know, pretty much even, except for this guy having a little bit less martial. But I'm thinking about giving this guy the, thing because he's got less land. So I can grant him a land title, perhaps. Actually, here's what I should do. I should look into their troop counts. This guy's have 309, 351. So this guy's probably stronger. He'll probably like this more. So if I give him this, this is basically going to make him a whole lot happier with me. And then if I want, I can give him a seat in the council to make him even happier, perhaps. This general here is being a nuisance. So what I might do with him, I might let him rebel and then kick his ass. He doesn't like me as much. He doesn't really care about me as much anymore, which is good. It annoys me that this guy's content. Yeah, he's still, like, you know, wants to rebel. This guy right here. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to go here, we're going to make this guy my new chancellor. That'll basically eliminate two guys and piss off the guy that was already pissed off, but whatever, it's fine. Let's try to make this guy happy with me. Basically, I got a problem with, like, you know, the Mency size basically hurting my relations here a little bit. And then on top of that, these guys, you know, I've basically been conquering and haven't really been managing them all that well just yet. This guy should be removed, though, from the thing here soon. There, so that's a little bit better. I'm still going to gather up troops, which will be useful for the future. And, you know, I don't usually say this, but this is one of those times that I really need to have kids that pop out. I need lots of kids to pop out. Interesting. You know, in a way, I'm actually sort of waiting to die at this point. Kinda. Well, anyways, let's commission a rune stone so I can show that off. So if you decide to commission and raise a grand rune stone for future versions, have these choices that usually pop out, so you can let it speak of me, or you can, like, you know, have it speak of my parents, but I guess I don't have any parents to speak of, so it doesn't really matter. The artisans who will carve and paint the rune stone are asking for instructions. Which of your qualities should it speak of? So you can go, my wisdom must be preserved. It will say that I fear nothing, or I wish to be known for my fairness in all things, so you can go just, brave, genius. You know what? I want to wish for my, you know, my fairness in all things. Alright, well, I'll be a while before it gets done, I guess. The stone is raised. The rune stone you commissioned is finished and raised on the spot you chose for it. You examine the ruins. Rook, son of the wild, and this stone raised in his own lifetime. There was no one more fair and just in all things. Men and women traveled far to seek his counsel and disputes. Culture has carved these ruins. You leave the stone content in the knowledge that many centuries from now, when its paint is long faded since faded, scholars will study these ruined carvings in an effort to glean the wisdom of their words. It's perfect. So we basically get some prestige, some piety. I basically get until 8, you know, for a couple of years, some piety boost, diplomacy, general opinion. So people like me a little bit more. All very useful. You know, I should probably usurp this and give it to my son. If possible. So we usurp that, and... You know, I could give him the temple, but, you know, there's no real point to it. Now, I should probably note, by the way, at this point I've got lots of prestige, I'm not really using it. Something you can do with prestige is that you can actually build up your, these things like these improvements of prestige. You can also use money, but prestige is like the thing that the pagans can do. And I'm thinking, let's go in here. We'll start building up maybe a war camp or a practice range. And we'll do this maybe here too. Just because this prestige is not just used for score, but also is to build up, you know, your sort of like, you know, your infrastructure. And I'm choosing this duchy down here because it's basically a very, you know, simple duchy over here. And you know what? Probably I've got enough troops now for this. We're gonna send my troops out to start raiding. This is something I should really be doing a lot more, because eventually your troops will get very, very discouraged if you're not raiding people or attacking people, because you're at peace too long. Basically, the Norse don't like it when you're at peace, or any other pagans for that matter, really. Norway's slowly getting formed. Sweden is doing pretty well. Hey, cool. Got some more martial. Alright, so raiding. Raiding is a, favorite pastime for me. If you saw my other videos that I made like in, Windows XP, it's something I really like doing a lot. Raiding, raiding, raiding. It's how you get easy money. And apparently one of my commanders died. Thank you, Commander. Alright, who I want to raid? They're basically, when you're raiding, you want to go for, like, easy marks. So, someone like this guy might be an easy mark. Of course, he's all been raided a little bit, apparently. So, there's that. But basically, the King of Francia here, he's basically having to deal with guys. He's in a civil war, basically. And if I was to go down here and, like, drop my troops right here, I'd be able to basically, possibly raid his castle, so... And yeah, here's the thing. If you've been at peace too long, your Germanic, the peasants won't like it too much, so you want to be raiding at some point or something to give your troops something to do. And boom. There it goes. So now I'm raiding, getting some loot. Now note that the optimal way of raiding is actually to just like keep jumping from county to county, but what I'm just going to do here... Oh, this guy's going to attack me. We're going to try raiding him right here and like, conquering his castle a little bit. Are they going to try and join the battle or what? Oh, look at that. They're actually beating me. Didn't expect them to do that. That's one of the bad things I hate about, pagan troops. They're not very strong. They get attacked. You need very good numbers with, like, pagan troops to, be able to beat people, usually. How many troops I got? I got 1,600 left, at least, so... Apparently someone's, a hostess here, taking out this. Alright, let's go here. We're just gonna raid this guy, perhaps. Single counties are usually the best things to raid just for a simple reason that, when you basically start attacking them, they can't defend themselves, so... Training camp. Now, note, by the way, this is, like, cost me prestige to basically be, doing all the stuff I'm doing. But at the same time, early on, really, with pagans, you want to build up your stuff, really, if you want to keep them. And this is going to take a long, long time, but whatever. It'll be worth it. It'll be nice when 6 years or 7 years pass, so I can basically get full troops in these, like, areas. Hooray! That guy likes me more. Improve relations. And cool, more stewardship and more martial. Eh, Estonia's apparently trying to raid me. Bastard. Oh, look at that. So, that happened. Basically, if you run out of troops for, like, raiding, you can't keep raiding, so... This is one of the reasons that it's probably better to, like, keep, like, jumping from county to county. Whatever. We'll go over here, we'll grab a little money from this guy, or not. I'll grab all the money from here and I'll move on. That'll be the plan. So I know there's like things you can do with like your guardian ship, basically with people you are guarding. Oh, they raided me, those bastards. Yeah, there's things basically you know, you can do with like being a guardian. You can sort of like, you know, influence how like your children are raised and such. You know what? Let's go down over here. I'll start raiding some of the Muslims. You can actually raid Muslims if you want. You can raid anyone basically if you're, you know, a Norse. Perfect. You know, let's go raid up France over here. Or Aquitaine, rather. That's what it is. Or this guy. Alright, so, large merchant caravan for distant land has arrived in the gates of his stronghold. Their leader is a jovial man, massive girth, pleads with you in a strange accent to grant them shelter from an element of the night. Very well, let them in. As evening falls, the fat merchant sits by the fire and regales you to the rest of the court with the stories of his travels. His appetite seems insatiable, but as you do not wish to prove a poor host, you order your sons to bring in a second serving. So tell us more about this mythical realm of Hindustan, and har har. If I go over here. I thought there was a kingdom called Hindustan. Well, whatever. He's talking about India. Dawn breaks and the caravan prepares to move on. The merchant insists on leaving you a gift and thanks you for your great hospitality. He shouts the tense commands in a foreign language and a young man comes forward. This English will serve you well. The merchant says, his loyalty to you, his new master, shall be beyond reproach. That's very kind. I accept your gift. So basically I just got myself a gift of a servant. So I go on my court here. I just got this guy, a new Inish. He'll serve me well, perhaps. You know, I'm telling them to come over to this guy right here. Start raiding him. You know what? Let's try it. I'm just going to try and raid him. See how it works. They got a few troops, but I should have more. Maybe if I'm lucky, I'll be able to siege it down without him. Well, that happened real quick, but whatever. We'll just raid what I can then. I think they keep assaulting my troops or something, the defenders. Go here next, I guess. Although with my troops being out like this, I'm actually like losing a lot of money, but I'll gain a lot back when I basically get back to my my town. You know, if I want to, I could try and raid Rome, but Rome's pretty damn strong. Alright, Woodston against Farmer, blah blah. Well, I wasn't happy, but big deal. Hey, look, I got more troops again. Doesn't really matter though. I think at this point what I was going to do is going to keep going to individual counties and pick up money. That's the best way of doing it. You basically get more money doing it this way if you want money. Wow, this guy's throwing out that he's a threat on his own. That's actually more of a problem with the fact that I just don't have ample soldiers to really, you know, offset his threat. Raid these guys a little bit. They have lots of money. Cool. This. And that. I generally like to get my buildings up to at least tier 2. Just so you know what I'm planning to do here. Money, money, money. Alright, what's up with this guy? He's got an army right there, but whatever. Okay, apparently I'm fighting him. Didn't know why, but victory! Got some money here. Got some money from this guy too, I bet. If I had more troops, I'd actually try and raid down the castle, but whatever. I'll just do what I got here for now. Interesting. I could probably get away with raiding right here in Balharm. Of course, that guy's going to Balharm right now, so that's probably not a good idea. Let's raid a little bit of the Byzantine Empire. That's always fun to do. Yoink! Let's raid a little bit here. Hey, she grew up. Lucky for her. Raid a little bit of the Muslims. Oh really? They're raiding over here, those bastards. Wow, how much is happening down here? Usually a lot happens down there in the Ethiopian area. And wow, this guy's got very little troops here. Yeah, it sucks when you have like really crappy marshals and you're trying to get troops. Why the fact that you As soon as I came to pick up Gala to help me out cutting down some trees, she starts complaining. Apparently she has a nasty stomach ache. Ill and brat, I'll show her, or maybe something wrong with her. Gila apparently has pains in her arms now after I grabbed it and can't use it to cut trees. Hopeless. Alright, let's go over here and raid over here in this county. This guy apparently have a lot of troops over here, so... Let's see here. I'm going to build a weaponsmith next. That's all I'm raiding. I'll go here over here to, I think it was Malta? Yeah, Malta. We'll raid Malta a little bit. Maybe we'll raid this guy too a little bit. Perfect. Hey, we got ourselves some warriors I can't use. And this will happen a lot. You'll get lots of warriors you can't use. But, it's, you know, I keep doing it because I want the prestige that you get from basically having troops around. Let's go here. We're almost getting up to my cap of, you know, 400 gold, which I'll be able to basically get here. Go in here. Maybe I'll go raid Benghazi a little bit. Oh, wait. This is all protected, isn't it? Yeah, he's entirely protected here. If, like, the fort level's too high, you can't raid anything from these guys, so... You have to check for fort level on like, you know, the things you're raiding. Because if fort level's too high, you can't raid anything. Basically, this is like the, you know... This stuff, like, up to this point here is protected, I can't raid it. This stuff over here I can raid. And it's basically based on how much castle fortification, castle walls, and stuff like that is able to defend himself. Ah, that guy died. Who took over for you? This guy here. Oh well, so you died. Wonderful, we got technology. Alright, so at this point, I should probably point someone to basically take over. Let's make this guy take over. Try and soothe that guy a little bit if you can. Rating. Alright, done here. Let's go over here. Yeah, we're getting very, very close to, you know, the edge of the Mediterranean over here at this point. Start raiding this guy a little bit. You know, I had 2,000 troops when I started raiding. We're almost down to, like, you know, probably like a third of it that I had started out with, the troops, or more. Let's go over here and crush the Byzantine armory and raid him a little bit. Crush him. Well, I guess I've raided all I can at this point. I could try and get to other 400, but it's really not worth the time, so... Let's go back over here, drop off my load. Weaponsmith is slowly being built over here. Hey, I can educate my kid. Alright, you can be... So she's got Fussy and she's got Curious over here. So here's something I know about, like, you know, the traits that, you know, basically pick up in your kids. And I haven't really been explaining in detail, but basically, as like you're rearing these kids, you initially at like age 5 or 6, like get them to get these like, you know, initial childhood traits, and then from them you like, you know, pick a focus for like their education, and based off these traits they'll do better or worse depending on like, you know, what they have. So like if they have Fussy here, Fussy's good for like intrigue education, but if they have Rowdy, then Rowdy's bad for it. So you basically have to sort of like pick and choose what you think is best. So Fussy's really bad for like, you know, diplomatic education, while Curious is good, so it'll be like, you know, sort of even out, but Intrigue is just, you know, plus with Fussy and nothing else, so let's try a Intrigue focus with her. It's gonna take a while for my ships to get back, but whatever, that's fine. This is going to be a very slow episode, where not a whole lot happens. And what is this? What the? Did I seriously go through the rivers? I didn't know that Norse could do that now, but cool. My ships went through the rivers. Let's go deal with these guys. Isn't that interesting? You can like cross your rivers now. I think that's the only thing that Norse can do. Norse can go down like major rivers if you need them to. Alright, here I want to build Weaponsmith. Weaponsmith. Build this stuff up. Oh, he had a daughter finally, this guy. But he needs more kids. My son. My son, you need to have more kids. Uh-oh. It looks like I've gone from incapable to, or infirm to incapable. Which means I need a regent, which means my wife. Hi, wife. My wife is now my regent. So, that's not bad. I'm apparently getting old and, you know, incapable. I have so much to live for! Get out of here. Get. Alright, let's put down my troops. Raise them back up. So I did not know you could actually go through the rivers over here if you need to. That's actually interesting. Well, it makes sense, because this guy over here is Norse, right? Or one of these guys up here is Norse. Oh. Well, I died. King Rourke has gone to the gods at age 59. He died comatose in bed. Long live King Helgi. So be it. So that happened. I can no longer afford to put these guys away. Now, no, when you actually die, as like, you know, this like, you know, special character, you lose all the ships that you basically had, because those are like special event ships, and they go as soon as you die. So I'm now basically here, so to speak. And I've got a big issue now, because I basically got factions that are, you know, hating me and stuff like that. Okay, I need to get a son. I really need to get a son. And my Dimensity is way too big, because now I'm like, you know, way too big. Alright, so something I can do at this point, we're actually going to go to this temple here and put a vassal in it. And I wish I could, swap over here just at this point, but I still need to, wait a little bit before I basically have access to these places. Just a little bit. Ah, well, unfortunately I died. Now, note, by the way, because I'm Slavic, and here's something else I'll probably do. I'll probably go change to be Russian, so they like me a little bit more. Boom. So I'll just turn myself Russian and Slavic. So basically, if I look here, religions, I'm proper religion. If I go to culture, I got most of the Russians in here, so it's fine. Alright, this is probably a really good stopping point at this point for this episode. I'll have to try and, survive the coming faction conflicts that'll be happening in a moment, because too big a domestic size, and in fact I've also got, lots of land of, vassals. But whatever, we'll see what happens in the future. For now, hope you've enjoyed. Saving game. And taking care.